green flag. We are racing once again at Macau. Rob Huff, it is that leads. Marcin Khoa in second place, and a very, very damaged number 35 car of Lam Kar Chun in the TA.
Like a bell cut.
And then a long way to look forward to the front of the grid with 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Wait until they go out and we get this 8-lap race underway. Out they go. Who's going to get the best of the starts? Everyone trying to make a manoeuvre. Has Rob Huff got the better of the starts, or is it Marcin Khoa who has got the better of the starts? I fancy it might have been Marcin Khoa. Yes, it is. So the Lincoln Co. ahead of the MG of Rob Huff. Rob Huff having a look on the outside, and Felipe de Souza is there as well, also having got off the line, but he needs to keep his eyes in the mirrors for Lincoln Co's that are all ganging up behind. But Rob Huff gets in front of Marcin Khoa and down towards Lisboa to, oh dear, and we have a multiple problem there with a number of cars, so they are going to get an interruption to the race before they've really even got started. However, I say that, so what was it? Well, one car loses it, a bash into the barrier, a spin and avoidance and into the barrier, and then multiple collections going on. Coming off the worst of that was Wang Ching Hung in the number 12 car, the Team TRC Honda. I think that one is potentially the most damaged of the cars, but quite a few of those cars I think will be able to. Oh, and there was a Lisboa moment as well, so MG's getting involved at Lisboa. Rob Huff and Marcin Khoa, meanwhile, although they've seen the safety car boards and they know that this is a pretty regular occurrence at Macau, that you need to get cars recovered, and therefore you need a safety car intervention. So they know what they're doing. They know that they'll get this race underway, but I think a few of the cars will just be able to extricate themselves and get on their way on their own steam. Maybe 1 or 2 of them will require assistance to get clear on the circuit. Through the hairpin for the first time. Of course, all the laps will count. As indeed we saw in the qualification race for the F3 race just now. There was plenty of opportunity behind the safety car. And now, once again, the BMW, the 2, picks up the field. Heading onto lap number 2. Waiting for the timing screen to update from the F3 race as well. So still showing out race order from the finishing positions for the Formula 4 Macau Grand Prix race, which just preceded the touring car race. But very clearly you can see Rob Huff, Marcin Khoa, Felipe de Souza, Jiangju Chang at the front of the field, top 4 cars. Behind the BMW, keeps a perfect straight line in the centre of the circuit. Everybody else weave, generate heat, retain heat, and get ready for the restart whenever that may appear. So we'll wait for the view of the incident when the very, very healthy field spread their way through onto lap 2 of the race, and that's that's the incident. So we thought that one or two of them would require a lift to recover. One of those is going to be the number 53 car of Ng Chi Lung, Mike Ng, the Champ Motorsport Volkswagen Golf GTI. That car will require a lift and quite a bit of sweeping to take place as well. And the number 12 car of Wong Ching Hung, that car requiring a lift as well, the Team TRC Honda. So Rob Huff it is that leads in car number 10, and another example. So number 99 hit the brakes, Ryan Wong, in avoidance, in anticipation of not hitting them, and the car spun. So multiple collections in that incident. As the field head through Teddy Ip, the left-hander, all on the left-hand side, through the mountain section, through the Solitude S's. There you go. Maternity is the right-hander there. This right into the Solitude S's, the right, left, right and left of the Solitude S's, and then back towards the front of the field with the safety car and Rob Huff marching car, Felipe de Souza, thanks to the timing departments. Online timing screen back up to date, updates itself, and as soon as the safety car comes in, once the circuit is clear of cars and also swept and ready to go, then we'll get the race back underway. What a great field it is, and also hugely exciting for the culmination of what has been a difficult year for any championship anywhere in the world to get to the finale. British Touring Car Championship came to a conclusion last weekend at Brands Hatch, and a big board was walked down the centre of the final grid saying, "We made it, thank you everyone," coming from the boss of the championship, Alan Gow, reflecting just how nice it was to get to the end of a championship year in the circumstances with which the world has found itself this year is exceptional, and so too exceptional to be here in Macau for this festival of motorsport, this showcase of motorsport excellence in this part of the world. And they will rise to the occasion in a splendid style tomorrow for their 12-lap races. Macau Touring Car Cup, the Greater Bay Area GT Cup, the Macau Gear Race, the Macau GT Cup race. We've got their qualification race to come up this afternoon. And then all the build-up to the Macau Grand Prix. Special event, we'll see a collection of classic cars and BMW M-Town and Harley Davidsons on the circuit. The Lion Dance, which is the traditional dance of good luck ahead of the Formula 4 Macau Grand Prix. And then the Grand Prix itself, 3:30 tomorrow afternoon, local time in Macau. Weather-wise, it's been a little different today to free practice day. Yesterday, sunny and 27, 28 degrees. little cooler today, 24. Threat of rain earlier on in the day didn't materialise, but we have a fair bit of work to be done to get the circuit ready to go. Clearing up fluid are the many marshals that are working down. They do such a fantastic job here at Macau to get things ready to race again. They very diligently and quickly get on with the task in hand to get racing back underway. 2 laps completed now, and we haven't really had a racing lap. Rob Huff, Martin Hua, Felipe de Souza, Zhangju Chang, top 4, Sunny Wong, up into the top 5, 5th place for Sunny Wong, former winner of the Macau Touring Car Cup here at Macau. Behind the safety car, the field being led by Rob Huff in the MG, a car he's only driven for the first time yesterday here at Macau. Safety car has still got the lights on. They are on lap number 3. Just going through and completing sector 2. They've completed, they'll be completing sector 3 very soon as they go through police up towards Moorish. Through Moorish they go. Rob's still weaving the MG from side to side. It's interesting as well that Rob would be driving in an MG this weekend, albeit the MG X-Power, very important brand in this region of the world. But Rob, when he first got into touring cars and started making a name for himself, competing in the World Touring Car Championship, on the weekends that he wasn't, and the weekends that he could go racing lad and dad with his father Peter, he was still competing in his old MGB at various club racing meetings in the UK. Proper racer is Rob Huff. I don't think he still races the MG, but certainly enjoys events like the Goodwood events, the Goodwood Revival, and the opportunity to get into a car that he can really attack and hang the back out and drive the car. Rob Huff, a racer's racer, I think it's fair to say. 9-time winner here at Macau, looking for win number 10 in 2020. Three laps completed now. Not a single racing lap completed thus far. It was the case a few years ago here at Macau when we had TCR cars here at Macau for the gear race, that we did have an unusually large number of incidents. It's not unusual to have incidents, but we did have a weekend a few years ago when incidents really did take away from the racing for the gear race, because they didn't really get too many racing laps in. There was a number of incidents as the weekend wore on, which is in part kind of predictable when you have such a full and healthy grid and a tight, demanding circuit. Some would say it could be a little inevitable that the cars are rather second-hand by the end of a weekend racing at Macau. Welcome along. If you've just joined us, you join us on qualifying day for the 67th running of the Macau Grand Prix. We've got, at the moment on circuit, the qualification race for the Macau gear race. Final round of the year for TCR China is battling out here at Macau. The super impressive Shell team like Lincoln Co Motorsport team, with the rather famous driver Ma Chin-hua in the number 55 car, qualified second yesterday, running in second briefly on the start of the race, able to get the better of the 9-time winner here at Macau. But by the time they got down to Lisboa, Rob Huff was having none of it. And bear in mind also that for Ma Chin-hua, the points available this weekend are vitally important. For Rob Huff, the championship he was competing in, already complete, already crowned champion. So Rob Huff here for really two reasons as far as I can see this weekend. One is to get that elusive 10th win at Macau, and another is because he absolutely loves the place. Really does enjoy the challenge of succeeding on the gear circuit at Macau. So we're under safety car for the qualification race. It's an 8-lap race. We've got 3 laps in the book. They're going to be completing half distance at the end of this lap. And all of them have been behind the safety car. The safety car now peels off and they are back and racing at Macau. Rob Huff, Ma Chin-hua, across the line they go, and Rob Huff has got the pedal down very nicely indeed. Great restart for Rob Huff as we go racing. Keep an eye in the background and see if everybody has managed to get through okay. I fancy they have. Go through Mandarin, down towards Lisboa, and with the marshals having worked very, very hard indeed to get racing back underway. We now do have a race underway because Felipe de Souza and Zhang Ju Chang contesting that final podium position. And can go just having a look at the back of the Audi of Felipe de Souza, number 26 car, topped the times first thing yesterday morning in free practice 1, able to fend off the challenging second Lincoln Co in that battle at the front of the field. And Rob Huff has really got the best of the restarts because he's already been able to put a little bit of a gap. Was that a glance at the barrier for Felipe de Souza? Might just have incorrectly seen that. It did look like a little puff of something as he went through the corner. Rob Huff in the MG into police, the right-hander, and watch him coming out of Moorish. Always very committed at the exit of the corner. Sets him up well for the run down towards Donna Maria, the run up towards the Melco hairpin, so we can begin to get a bit of pace. And another multiple incident, the number 9 MG of Rodolfo Avia, and that is going to be very, very costly for the man that runs second in the championship this weekend in TCR China. Rob Huff continues on his way at the front of the field and presses on to complete now 5 laps, 3 laps to go in this qualification race for the Macau gear race, and a red flag. So the race being red flagged for the incident which has taken place. 51 is Henry Lee Jr. Completely blocked the circuit. Down at San Francisco, the whole field queuing up behind this incident down there, bar the handful of cars that you see there, headed by Rob Huff, Marcin Qua, Felipe de Souza, and 4 more cars have all come through and avoided that incident, but the red flag has come out. That's stopped the race. Half distance for this race, and with those cars blocking the circuit, the requirement made to clear the track without racing conditions, get everyone through, and that number 9 stricken car of Rodolfo Avia in the MG X-Power is a very, very sad sight to see in terms of the prospects for the weekend and the points for the weekend. Rob Huff makes his way very, very slowly in a red flag situation. Marcin Qua, and that's been quite a damaging incident down at San Francisco, requiring all the field to come through before they can think about getting the circuit clear at the corner. That was quite a queue through Lisboa. Go the top few cars underneath the red flag. I did say it was down at San Francisco. I think I've identified that wrong where the cars are off. I will correct myself before too long, but the top cars have just been through San Francisco. Marshals all the way around the circuit will be displaying the red flags. No one can be left in any doubt that the race has been stopped and potentially will be restarted for the remaining half of the race. Cars back to pit lane, including the number 51 car involved in that incident of Henry Lee Jr. And it is an opportunity for the teams to make any repairs. That was about to pull the car over. There must have been a very good reason to get Low Si Ho, the Maximum Racing Honda Civic Type R, out the way and then back into contention. And down pit lane, they all stream now to hopefully get some good racing laps underway in the resumption of this race. So all that hard work of getting the heat into the tyres, brakes and all the mechanics of the car up to temperature, that all needs to be done again. And that's exactly what they're doing, being led by Rob Huff and Marcin Qua behind the BMW safety car. Felipe de Souza just behind. 36 car is Zhangju Shang in the second of those Shell Teamwork Lincoln Co Motorsport Lincoln Co TCR cars. Third of them is that car, the number 29 car of Sonny Wong, who knows what it's like to stand on the top step of the podium here at Macau. The 2018 Macau Touring Car Cup champion and the 2018 TCR China champion. hasn't done any racing this year, but for obvious reasons, but is able to join in this celebration of motorsport at Macau. And why would you not? A great opportunity when the word was given that this meeting was confirmed in the format that it is. Huge amount of interest instantly for being able to take part in what many would say is one of the greatest spectacles in motorsport around the world here at Macau. Fantastic part of the world to visit if you haven't already done so. Well worth at some stage in the future.
Like a Hellcat.